Hello guys, this is my second video, and this video is going to be about The Creep. The Creep is an animated movie made by aspiring author, and it's very underrated. I say you should go check it out before you watch this video if you don't want it to be spoiled. Well, The Creep is an animated movie made by aspiring author about a girl who is uncomfortable with being touched by a boy. This movie takes place when the two main characters are 12 years old, or when they're in middle school. And let me just say that this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Maybe the animating isn't that good, but the storyline is amazing. I think you should go watch it. This movie has a handful of main characters, but we're just going to talk about two, the main characters, Tom and Sarah. These two are kind of in a love-hate relationship. Tom has feelings for Sarah, while Sarah hates his guts. I'm going to be talking about this movie in parts. The beginning, the middle, aka the storm, and the ending. This part is mainly introducing the characters while also giving a little bit of background. Tom and Sarah are friends, meaning that Tom touches Sarah in ways that she's not comfortable with, not sexually yet. He just hugs her when she's uncomfortable with it, and rubs cheeks and holds her hand when she's very uncomfortable. And this part is basically when Sarah is happiest. She has good friends, and she can, even when Tom touches her and stuff, she still feels fine. And I'm just gonna say it. Tom is a fat ass. In the movie, he's supposed to be depicted as really fat. He always plays the victim, and he always says, "Oh, people always make fun of me and bully me because I'm fat, and only that reason, nothing else." This movie is about the progression of how Tom gets creepier and creepier towards Sarah, and no one really acknowledges it. Another main character in the movie is Sarah's brother. Sarah's older brother basically protects her from Tom, who again is the main villain in this movie. Most of what he does is basically be like, "It's okay if you want to sleep in my room, or I'll protect you," and basically he beats the shit out of Tom. One day, Sarah's friend is going to lunch with Sarah, and Sarah asks if they can eat in the bathroom because they feel uncomfortable. In the bathroom, Sarah's friend says that they have to stand up to Tom because Tom is an ass and he can't just do whatever he wants. So, when Sarah leaves the bathroom, Tom is like, "Oh, I was looking all over for you," and then touches Sarah again, and then Sarah says that she's not comfortable with that, and he's like, "Okay." So, problem solved then, right? That's the end of the movie. And then you realize the movie still has 20 minutes left on it. So, what's gonna happen in that time? Well, big surprise, but the next day, Tom keeps touching Sarah when she's uncomfortable, and bam, it's the same problem. Tom is touching Sarah when she's uncomfortable. But that's only the calm before the storm. This is the main part of the movie. By the way, there's a trigger warning up in the corner right now. So basically what happens next is Sarah still goes on with her life, and one day Tom doesn't touch her at the start of class. He just says hi. And then at the end of class, Sarah thinks she's safe, and then one of her friends notices that Tom left behind a sketchbook where there's inappropriate drawings of Sarah that he drew. Everyone is shocked and appalled, and Sarah is more scared than ever. She tries to run home and successfully makes it, but Tom is stalking her at her window. She feels uncomfortable, so she decides to sleep in her older brother's room, which he is glad to do. The next day, by the way, I'm skipping a lot of information, so if you want all the information, please go check out the original. The next day, quotations, Tom is touching Sarah again, and she's uncomfortable, but a kid notices it. He tells the teacher, and the teacher's like, "Oh, honey, they're just in love." Then he tells her, but she seems uncomfortable. "Oh, I was shy too, but that's just how it goes. And then he says that she's literally uncomfortable, and this actually happens, and it's so sad because sometimes things happen like this and people just brush it off as two people in love, because boys just tease other girls because they're in love, even though people are clearly uncomfortable in these situations. So if you're ever in this situation, feel free to contact authorities and never feel scared to tell someone about it. But anyways, now she's back at her house and Tom is stalking her again. Later, her friends invite her to karaoke where Tom stalks them until she's alone, and he rubs up on her again. And then her big brother arrives, so Tom flees. By the way, trigger warning, implied self-harm. The next day, she shows up to school and she falls over. Then suddenly there's blood dripping down her wrist. Her friends ask if she's okay, and they roll up her sleeves to see that she had cut herself. And they get her to a nurse. And I'm gonna put another trigger warning, because this is where it turns from a heavy rain to hail and thunder. Sarah falls asleep in class, and Tom says that he'll take care of her. And the teacher leaves. He closes and locks the door. He closes the blinds, and she wakes up. He's like, "Finally, you're awake. Now we can get to what I wanted to do." And then Tom her. This is actually very sad. I actually cried at this part because this happens every day and people just pass it off as nothing. After it happens, Sarah's actually traumatized. Then she figures something out. A way to get rid of him. It cuts to Sarah's brother looking for Sarah. He looks in his room where he thought Sarah would be. He asks their mom, but their mom doesn't know where she is. He then looks in Sarah's room, only to see that Sarah has committed. She left 3 notes. 1 to her brother and her friends, 1 to Tom, and 1 to her mom. The 1 to her brother and her friends is thanking them. The 1 to Tom is calling him out. And the 1 to her mom is saying sorry. Sorry that she was such a disappointment. It cuts to Tom being outcasted at school for raping her and causing her to commit. This actually happens so often, and how they portrayed it is perfect, and I think it should be more popular. Thank you for watching, and stay safe.